Alright, welcome back to the shop. Today is day 2 of the video 2. Not day 2. Video 2 of the Reed Vise. I will insert a before picture right now, and this will give you some idea of where I'm at now. But it's still... take this apart. You can see I've got some little bit of flash rusting on there, and then this is sort of starting to come together, but could still get a lot better. So I'm going to finish polishing this up, and I'm going to bring you back when I put the base on. Polishing wise, what I'm going to use, in case anybody cares, is I have a bunch of different die grinders, and these different die grinders, the 90-degree ones are nice, the straight ones are better. I've got some long shaft ones. I've got a bunch of different kinds, but the roll-lock discs really work well. And instead of changing out every time I want to do a different spot, and some of these fiber wheels, I use some sandpaper, some of these Scotch-Brite discs. But anyway, instead of constantly changing bits and stuff, I'll just keep swapping die grinders out, because these things are pretty cheap. This one, you know, 10, 12 bucks. This one was expensive. I don't remember what it was, but it was a scratch and dent on Amazon. So anyway, I'm gonna get to polishing this, and I'm gonna bring it back, and hopefully my base is in. I'm very excited to get to that point. But we'll see if my playing comes together. So we'll just do some time lapse right here and some music. Let's get started. So I've got the vise pretty much polished now. I've got it in the parts washer trying to get some of the rubbing compound. I used black, and then I went over and finished it with some white. Invariably I'll miss some spots, and I'll go back and forth and sort of pick up what I missed, because I'm not really that detail oriented. Some of you may notice in the time lapse that I'm just throwing these things out like poker chips. This is the sort of squishy end, which helps conform into some of, there's a lot of little crevices and nuances to that vise. And if you catch a corner, you can ruin a brand new one, or sometimes you just slap wear them out. One went flying clean across the shop. Never seen one fly that far. But anyway, it's not uncommon to go through, I mean, dozens and dozens of these things. So if you do decide to buy one, and you're on Amazon, you say, should I buy the 100 pack or should I buy the 500 pack? Get the 500 pack. These are always fun to clean up. Scoutcrafter had mentioned to me, he says, you know, the good vices always have a place to put a screw in here to sort of adjust to keep the bar from falling through. It doesn't look like that has that option, but I haven't got it completely cleaned up yet. Anyway, I'm gonna give you some time lapse of me cleaning this up. Alright, so when I did the hammer the other day, I did gold in the bottom. This was the 2-pound sledge that I did the dipped handle on, and I thought the gold was sort of cool. So I said, you know, maybe I'll run with that on this one too. But more than just painting with some tester's paint, what I wanted to do was share something I learned the other day watching Active Atom. So Lance and Patrick over there have a really neat shop, and they're watchmakers and they're machine restorers, and it's a really neat channel. You should check it out. Their episodes are longer, and they're just packed full of neat information. It's very interesting. I started at the very beginning. I'm working my way through their videos. Anyway, really interested stuff that they're working on. And then their shop is really clean. It has virtually nothing in common with my shop. But there are sometimes some instances of what they work on and what they do, just some insights that they share that you know, I could borrow from and maybe use in my shop. And this one isn't necessarily earth-shattering or anything. I wouldn't think most people, but for me, I thought it was pretty cool. I had used a brayer. Well, that was a round rubber roller to try to ink the letters in, and the brayer worked okay. I'm trying to think of where I put it. Anyway, the brayer worked alright. I think on a larger scale it would work good, but for the smaller scale like I'm working on, and Lance and Patrick work on a much smaller scale. But anyway, this one I think I'm going to borrow their technique, and what they had done is just simply taken a pencil or whatever and rolled up a rag. I just got a piece of steel here, and sort of made this little dauber. And they used a rubber band. I don't have too many rubber bands in the shop, but I got all the zip ties. And then they sort of made this little dauber. And I'm going to use that same exact technique that they used to paint the letters on this. I'll try to get a close-up shot of that. Now I'm going to cut right to the chase and show you what I was so excited about, and I'm going to show you a picture now. What I'm going to do now is, now that you've already seen the vise, and the final thing is I'm going to go through and get some video of me drilling and tapping the holes, and hopefully this all works out, or otherwise I'm not going to know how to edit this video. So I'm going to do my best, and let's get started. So what I was so excited about was this. A gym weight. You know, I hadn't seen a gym weight in a while, but anyway. I was on the Alero, which is our local supply house here for metal, on their website. I'm sure they're national if they have a big website like they do. And I said, you know, I'd really like to have this vise on a good solid piece of cast iron. And a 12-inch by 12-inch by 1-inch piece of cast iron was $153. I think it's $153. Anyway, it was pretty damn expensive. And, you know, I don't mind paying up for something that's really nice or whatnot, but it's $153. That's a lot of money. So I said, geez, there's gotta be a better way to get a piece of cast iron for cheaper. And somehow, whatever it was, it's cast iron workout weights. You know, this is 10 pounds. It's cast iron. It should work easily, and it should be a perfect base for this. I mean, it just, I mean, it really makes a difference when you put the 16 pounds or so on here. So I'm gonna find some bolts that fit this, and I'm going to drill and tap it, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so this is my drill press. I've showed it in another video. What I have on here is a VFD. It's called a variable frequency drive. This machine is pretty interesting in the sense that I can stop it, start it, speed it up, whatever I want to do from here. So I stop, go to reverse, and I've got the trim pot switches in here, so if I wanted to power tap, I could. In addition to that, I'm going to turn it down slow here. I can hit this, or wait, hit this. Well, let me get this out of the way. So, if I hit the auto feed, this machine will automatically start feeding down. And I don't use it very often. I like the way it feels. But anyway, that's the auto feed. I need to tighten the coil spring so it pops back. But anyway, I love this machine. It was a Craigslist deal. But anyway, the VFD was probably one of my best upgrades so far. Alright, let's keep fitting these holes. Alright, so here it is. There's the finished vise. This is on a 10-pound dumbbell, or workout gym weight. I was looking for cast iron, and you know, this was the cheapest cast iron I could find, and it is gonna work out great. I don't know how easy it's gonna be on my mat, but anyway, I think the gym workout weight is gonna be better than I had used a piece of stainless steel before, and that was really expensive. This 10-pound weight was $9 or something like that, and that was through Amazon. I mean, imagine if you go to a flea market or something like that, you get them for next to nothing. So I think that's the way to go. I mean, this feels super good. The vise polished up pretty good. You can see that I've got get it in the frame here. It's got, sort of see my fingers in there. And I do the, I got a little bit greasy there. Anyway, it's hard to see. It's a little ungainly, but the finish is pretty nice on that. I'm gonna wipe it down with some furniture polish, and after the tester's paint dries, you can see the gold on there. Actually, it doesn't show up on camera that good. In person, it looks alright. I think it looks pretty good. I got a couple dabs in there, that top of the D and whatnot. Maybe I'd come back with a cotton swab and clean that up. I was unable to really polish between the letters, so there's no good way to get in there that I know of. But anyway, this, again, the reason I didn't paint this thing is because I'm constantly torching stuff. I'm constantly heating things up, and if I were to put paint on it, you know, it would just be useless. And I said this before, the reason that I have the vise on the mobile vise, I mean, I have a big vise, where am I at? Right here, bolted to my workbench, and this is a 6-inch vise. But I don't want to work over it when I'm filming. So if I want to be in the, that's sort of what this target is. It helps me figure out where I need to put my work so that when I'm shooting, I've got some sort of reference. And when I'm working, I don't have to keep looking up at the screen. But anyway, it's partly for you, partly for me, partly for just fun and the sport of it. So I'm going to get a couple more pictures of it and do some before and afters. And anyway, I hope you like this little restoration. There was a lot of work that went into this. I noticed I got a couple thumbs down on this. I get you. I understand that I doubt they'll be back for part 2. But there is something to be said for preserving the original finish on these things. However, when it looks like as rusted as it was, you know, what are you going to do? I'm getting rid of the rust. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And don't forget, I'll put my email here. I want to do another viewer episode. I've been slowly getting things trickling in. I really had a lot of fun doing the first one, and I'm just amazed at the work you guys are doing. And oh, and before I give up on this, thank you guys for following along on this. I had quite a few people doing research for me, giving me constructive comments, giving me referential sort of things. Bradley was talking about other split bearings, and a couple other people had repair kits that actually called for splitting the bearings and things like that. Just some really neat information. So thank you. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You guys are the best viewers. I really appreciate it. And I'll quit talking now. So anyway, thanks again. Have a good night.